Hey everyone, my name is Sam. Thanks for checking out this video. If you get to the end and liked it, then subscribe, bell notification, give the video a thumbs up. This is a new setup video, whatever. So I've always done like cover reveal videos, but I wanted to change it up a little bit. If you're not in the TBR and Beyond group, I am the little shit that constantly posts cover reveals in there and attacks people's bank accounts, apparently. So I've been trying to figure out a way to like incorporate that, I guess, into my video thing. So I wanted to give a shot on like a monthly wrap-up of cover reveals. I don't know if people would find that helpful, or honestly maybe it'll just help me organize what is in my brain. So I went on that like createtiermaker.com or whatever the hell it was called and made some categories. So I'm gonna round up as many as I can from February in this video. And again, these are all my opinions. If you like something, great, then like it's for you, it's just not for me, and vice versa. So that's fine, it's the world that we all live in. So I made some tiers. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we need to adjust these in the future if it becomes like a regular thing, if I find that a ranking is not useful as I thought it would be. And so we'll give it a shot and give me input on if you liked or hated this or whatever. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about the ranking system that I came up with, and we'll start ranking them. I will do as many as I can. I don't know how long this video will be though, because some months it's fine. It's like 10 covers get revealed a month. February, however, was like 200, 300. So I just picked some that like, I'm not putting books in here that I haven't read the first book of that are sequels, that I'm like, my input on this is null and void because I'm not letting myself buy books that I have not read the first book of, you know? Because that's just excessive and stupid. So yeah, and we'll go from there. And because I am sitting down and I'm a millennial with a bunch of anxiety issues, I'm drinking coffee. Also never coordinated a filming with a screen recording, so we'll see how this goes. But anyways, this is our setup here. Top tier, we're going with I Have a Mighty Need. You know that meme of, I don't know where the robot thing is from. I don't watch a ton of animated shit, but I have a mighty need. It's the top tier. You're not getting higher than that, you know? Then it put the book on my radar that was not on my radar. Either I had never heard of it or I wasn't interested in it. Then we go slightly below that it removed a book from my radar, unfortunately, because I was kind of interested in the plot, but the cover is a mess. Just thinking of, or maybe not a mess, it's just not for me, you know? Maybe I thought from the summary it was going to be more of an adult-leaning book, but the cover screams YA. So maybe it's just no longer for me because my reading interests and tastes have changed. Then we've got the Charlie Bowater multiverse, which I am convinced that somehow in a few years someone is going to come up with a theory that connects every book cover that is Charlie Bowater. But I'm also going to include anything in here that is Charlie Bowater-esque. You know, covers with the white, mostly fairy looking female in the middle, centered, very, very focused, and then the background is like swirls of wind or like spiders or rainbow, something that is connected to the general plot. So there's tons of them like that, and honestly it's just below the other rankings because those books are very specific to the YA audience, and I have just grown out of the YA audience. The Charlie Bowater multiverse could have been like top tier for me, I don't know, 3 years ago when I was interested in that stuff, or it could be top tier for you now, okay? And then directly below that is just nope. Just no. So, and I am going to try and keep it to just the cover. I feel like I get off that so often, but I'm going to try and just judge the cover, okay? We'll see how well that goes. Someone can probably clock me very quickly into this video as to when I stop doing that. So yeah. But anyways, I pulled a bunch from the TBR and Beyond group, and I think I came the weeded down was like 63 covers. So we're gonna see how this goes. Break a Covenant. Yeah, you know what? The book was not on my radar, and it's a horror, so I don't know that I will buy it, but it definitely piqued my interest. It looks weird and eerie, and I, for years, just never picked up horrors, but honestly, I've read some horrors off and on the last few years, and I've really enjoyed the ones that I have picked. So there's a subgenre in there for me. I just don't know if it's for me. So I will wait to hear feedback from horror readers and reviewers before I do anything with it. But put it on my radar. Shattered Light Ones. Honestly, it put it on my radar. I'm still not totally sure what it is, and it it just looks very sci-fi women kicking ass, you know? Alright, then we got Rise Up from the Embers. I am excited that it matches the previous book cover. Am I missing a category here actually of like, yeah, I have my, I wanted to read it before, I want to read it now. It's Sarah Rash. Then there's The Wolf and the Woodsman. Okay. I'm excited on the plot. This is the UK cover though. And I became very unexcited. I'm still waiting on the US cover. Maybe that'll, for once, be its saving grace. But I don't have a ton of faith that it doesn't, as someone who hasn't read the book yet, it doesn't look right. Something looks wrong. It just doesn't look like the same tone or anything of the book based on the summary. So it kind of removed the book from my radar, but I am holding out hope for the US cover. Then there's this anthology Blackout, but like, I am quite interested in it, honestly. I don't know what I was expecting before, but it was just, I don't know. I just knew that there was going to be an anthology with Andrew Thomas in it, and like, I don't know, I'm just curious about this with the authors and the cover. Just like, I was expecting maybe they would use like, I don't know, anthology covers, I don't seem to love them. So this kind of like, okay, maybe this is something. I'm also just not a general big reader of anthologies, because there's always stories in there that you're like, this wasn't worth it, this isn't a good story, like I only like this one story, there's 2 stories in here. So like, you know, but I like the general concept of this, and I like the cover of it. It just gives me a little bit of hope. This City Beautiful. Okay, this cover, ooh, I have a mighty need. I know it's YA. I'm not normally a big fan of like the wizard, you know, from the Wizard of Oz, that kind of concept of like him in the background, like ooh, but opacity the shit up. But I don't know, something about this just screams you're gonna like it. And then there's like, it's a Jewish historical fiction, fantasy, and I was like, oh, there's so much of that. I'm getting off the cover. I'm getting away from the cover. I want it based on the cover alone. Okay, I definitely, when I looked when this cover reveal came out, and I already had it on my want to read shelf on Goodreads, which is great. So there's that. But I saw the cover and I was like, ooh, let me go add this to my Goodreads shelf. Okay, Skin of the Sea. This has somehow both put the book on my radar and I have a mighty need. Never gonna put it, I have a mighty need. But honestly, I'd never heard of this book, and then the cover came out and I like, oh, what is this? And I was just so entranced by the way that this character, like the face and the eyes just staring into my soul, and it's a very beautiful lady. And then I finally, like 5 minutes later, I was like, oh, she has a tail. So it was good. Yeah, no, I have a mighty need. Yeah. The Midnight Girls, we're hitting the Charlie Bowater universe. I don't think I'll buy this. I may read it though. I did read the author's previous book, The Dark Tide by Alicia Jasinska. And then this is just the Charlie Bowater universe. So if I read it, I may get it from the library. I just haven't been finding the value in buying a lot of YA fantasy books. Over the past like year and a half, I read them once and either just completely don't like them, or like I like them and I'm like, but I'll never read this again, so I'm kind of hauling it. So it's the Charlie Bowater universe. All of Us Villains. Okay. I kind of removed, for lack of a better term, the book from my radar. I am excited because I love Amanda Foody, and I have enjoyed the book that I have read by Christine. However, this is a very underwhelming cover. Very underwhelming cover, and very plain looking. I don't know if maybe they're planning on foiling it, or like doing book box editions where they make the red or blue or purple or whatever like that. But the white, the black, the red with some teeth and hands is very underwhelming for a cover, and especially for that cover to be for a book that they're hyping the shit up out of it. Non-stop. I've seen it everywhere. It's in every book recommendation webinar I'm going to for work. It's all over, like, I don't know, not Book Riots, but you know, those kinds of websites that do all the book promo and shit. Like, it's just, I was underwhelmed by that when that got released. It's just, with some teeth-ish looking stuff on it, or I guess it's not even teeth, they're just jewels. I don't know. It was just, I am holding out hopes for the UK cover, but that is not something I'm necessarily really interested in. The plot of it sounds kind of interesting, and like I said, I like Amanda Foody, but the cover was disappointing for someone who was waiting for that cover to drop. The Heartbreak Bakery. This is cute, but like, just no for me. It looks very, I don't think basic's the right word, but it just looks like YA rom-com stuff that I know that if I read, I'd end up giving it like a 2 out of 5 stars. It's not a book for me, and then it fucks with the author's Goodreads rating, and like, especially I think this author, yeah, this author's part of the LGBTQ community, and like, they get shit enough on Goodreads. There's no point in like that. So this book is just not for me. It's not for me. I can tell from the cover. Gilded. I guess removes the book from my radar. I don't think Marissa Meyer gets necessarily like some amazing book covers. Like the Cinder ones are all right. I don't really like the new ones, so I appreciate that they hired an illustrator and stuff for it. I don't like the eyes, and I didn't notice them until like I stared at it for like 10 minutes. The eyes faded in the background. Totally unnecessary. Get rid of that. It looks like a cheap Photoshop add-in. Don't know why that's on there. Any sign, oh, what's it called? Any sign of life? I'm putting that in the nope. Just looks like a very sad, depressing, and I don't get a read on what the heck is actually happening with this book. Also, there's a dog on it, so I'm gonna assume the dog dies. Which, again, not interested in consuming that sort of content. Ray Bear. Ooh, I have a mighty need. Not Ray Bear. Redemption. The sequel to Ray Bear. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I like... The first cover did it too. I think it took me a few times looking at it to realize that the black was her hair. Oh, I love that so much. And then the hardcover, they did a foil underneath. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I love that they use the tail ends of the title to frame that. It frames it so beautifully. I love that. Oh, I love everything about that. It looks like very badass sci-fi fantasy. Yeah, traditional YA, but I can deal with that. Not a big fan of people on covers, but this is a good version of putting people on covers, you know? This one put this book on my radar. Lake's Edge, okay? I was curious about this. This is another one when it came out. I was like, ooh, let me add this to my Goodreads shelf. And then I went and it was already on my Goodreads shelf, but I had totally forgotten about it. Super eerie, creepy. It looks like a YA gothic fantasy. It gives me a lot of different fairy tale vibes, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a fairy tale retelling. You know what I mean? So I'm very, very interested in this one for sure, for sure. Kingdom of the Curse. We're gonna put that and remove the book from my radar. I didn't read the first book of this. I enjoyed the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, and then I've heard very mixed things about the next series because I know it's not gonna be the same, and Stalking Jack the Ripper was so popular, so it's hard to meet that. I don't love this like skulls on every cover. It's just being like thoroughly abused. This being said, The Keeper of Night, ooh, that put that book on my radar. Had not heard of it, had not heard a murmur of it. I opened Goodreads, it was not on my Goodreads shelf. That looks amazing. That looks, oh my god, looks amazing. Looks like they hired someone from the culture. I think it's Japanese myth retelling or something like that, and I think they hired someone actually from the community. Absolutely love everything about this. Journey to the Heart of the Abyss. I Have a Mighty Need. This is the sequel to The Light at the Bottom of the World, which I freaking loved. They did do a cover change from the paperback. Yeah, the first book in the hardcover and the paperback have 2 different covers now, and the paperback cover will match this one. I actually don't hate the cover change. I wish they would have stayed the same, as long as the books are the same height though. I feel like they're close enough that it's not going to really bother me on my bookshelf. There are Atlantis vibes. So cover change, don't love, but it is close enough that I don't think it would irk me. It will irk me when I buy it, because let's be real, I'm pre-ordering this shit. I want it really bad. I've been waiting for freaking forever for someone to give me a damn Atlantis retelling. Y'all put out 400 Beauty and the Beast retellings a year, but no one can give me an Atlantis shit. Then there's 8 Days. This, I don't honestly know if this book is a book, a novel, or a graphic novel. I don't know, but it just dropped to me on my Twitter timeline and went, what is that? That's beautiful. Oh, it gives me like, it makes me think of like so many different things. Like, I get serious Artemis Fowl vibes from the cover, especially. I don't know what this is. I don't know if it was a graphic novel or not, but I'm hella interested because that is beautiful. Gorgeous. Gorgeous cover. Holiday Switch. Honestly, at first I was like, oh, that's so traditional trash YA, like rom-com. But then I was like, that looks like Hot British Boyfriend, and I literally bought Hot British Boyfriend just because of the cover. Fucking adorable cover, and this looks like it was from the same artist. Same artist. So that is going book went on my radar. I don't even like contemporaries. I don't even like contemporary YA romances. I don't even really like books that center around Christmas, because there's always like some preacherism attached to it, it feels like, and I'm just not in for it. But I want that. I'm so curious about that. All these bodies. I guess we're gonna put that as like put on my radar, kind of. Actually, no. We're gonna put it in no. It wasn't on my radar before, but honestly, it's because I shouldn't say detest the author. I hated Three Dark Crowns with a burning passion. I can't even explain how much I detested that book. It's a cool looking cover. It's just not for me because I know I don't like that author's stuff. I just want to put that in no. Again, looks like YA contemporary that I just wouldn't enjoy. So, no. Can Be Heroes. I'm putting that put the book on my radar. I don't know that I will buy it or even will read it, but it stopped me and I went, what is this? Let me go look into this. So, it's good enough to make me do that. Okay, I know I just said like I don't really like contemporary YA fantasy romances, but like this one went on my radar. I'll get back to you. Again, I looked at it and I went, that reminds me kind of the illustration of Hot British Boyfriend, but with people of color. And what am I constantly saying? I fucking hate people on book covers, but if you're gonna do it, at least give me people of color on them, because we've got 4,000 years of white people on the covers, right? This looks cute. This looks like adorable cute, and like that piqued my interest enough to be like, maybe I'll do it. You never know. Maybe if someone says something racist, I go impulse rage buy. It happens all the time. Anytime J.K. Rowling opens her stupid mouth, I go buy a book from a transgender author or something like that, just because I feel like I'm spiting them. Rom-coms are where a lot of diversity is very quickly making its way through, and I want to support that. So I'm very interested in this one. Pick up, no, I don't like that cover. Everything about that cover is a no for me. No. The font, the colors, the format, the layout, everything is a no. So that removed it from my radar. I don't know that I'll read it or buy it, because I think I've heard very positive things about the author's first book, the Ali Greenleaf book. However, it sounds like a book that would make me angry cry, you know, and I'm just not normally a big consumer of those sorts of books. I have to be in a very specific mood. But that cover, I really like that cover. It's very muted tones. I like how the title is kind of around their faces, and just, I like that. I really do like that. There's something about it that I just like. The shoddy setup. I want this. Again, contemporary romance is not always my thing, but I have found an immense enjoyment out of YA that are like closer to the new adult, and just straight up adult romances that have diversity. This looks fucking adorable. I am utter trash for these adult rom-coms that have designs now instead of like a stock photo of some shirtless dude on it. It just appeals to me so much. I'm a mass consumer almost. Well, for me, I am now mass consuming those sorts of books. Feather of the Flame, this went on my radar. I knew it was a Mulan retelling, so I was probably going to be interested anyways, and I like the author's past book that I have read, but I don't know, there's something about swords on covers. I don't know, but then having the flames in the background, it just feels very badass. And I knew it was a Mulan retelling, so I was like, okay, well, we will at least give this a shot. Talk bookish to me. I'm gonna put that in. It removed it from my radar. I can't explain why the title Talk Bookish to me makes me angry. Can't explain it, but it physically does. I just like scoffed at it, and I don't know why. I can't explain it. Battle of the Bands, no. This looks like an indie cover. Looks like a self-published cover. No. Neil as well. I like that there's a person of color on it, and I'm assuming it's going to be talking about race issues, but again, sports-centered. Immediately, me like, no, not interested. I like consuming sports on television and generally paying attention to some sports. No issue. Though football is very inherently problematic at this point. But just as a book, I don't know why. I played sports growing up and all that. I just can't get into wanting to read books surrounding sports. This is why we lie. I don't know. This just looks like a no. I don't know. It just, I don't know. Nothing about this interests me. Not at all. Okay. Before we disappear, I don't know where to put this one, honestly. The cover put the book on my radar. Knowing that the author is apparently a very problematic being. So, beautiful cover work. Maybe the author wants to be less of a issue, I guess. And I don't know how to phrase that. But this looks so cool. I don't know why. It reminds me a little bit of like Archie comics from growing up, which gives me some nostalgia and like, I don't know. It just like piques my interest. I don't know. I like that werewolves and vampires and that sort of stuff are coming back. And like, I just like that. I find some enjoyment, I guess, in contemporary settings that like mess with fantasy magic or paranormal, but in like a non-cheesy way, which seems to be difficult to find. But this looks fun. The cover just gives me good vibes. Colors of the Dragons. We're gonna do. I'm gonna do with that. I mean, I don't know if removed from my radar because it wasn't on my radar to begin with. It just looks like a very simple cover. I can't get a vibe on what the heck is exactly in this book. It doesn't tell me anything about this book. I don't really like the font of it. Faith. No. I haven't read anything by that author. Like, the color scheme, but that's kind of it. The Magnificent Seven. This book, the cover piqued my interest. There is something about, like, they did this on the cover with the Women's War recovering too, that I'm trash for when like you make people a part of things. So like on the Women's War, they did a part of a crown, like the silhouettes. I'm a big fan of silhouettes on covers for some reason. Can't explain why. Can't explain why. And this, another, can't explain why, gets me excited, looks dark and eerie, and looks like an adult fantasy, which has been piquing my interest a whole lot more than YA fantasy. So I am interested in that one. The Lionheart Girl, that cover looks amazing. That goes into I Have a Mighty Need. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. I love that cover. Love that cover so much. Big fan. Big fan. It gives me the Year of the Witching kind of vibes, but then there's some pops of color in there, and it's a person of color too. It's fantastic. Then we got the Bone Way. This gives me Charlie Bowater world vibes. Looks YA fantasy. It looks very similar to the Midnight Girls, honestly. Just different color story, really. But goes in the Charlie Bowater universe. Probably won't read it. Spin me right round. This looks like a YA rom-com, but it looks like it may have queer rep. So it's going in the put the book on my radar. I do enjoy those from once in a while to time, just to break things up. I read Date Me Bryson Keller, which I ended up really liking that one. Just randomly threw it in and just, it was fun, it was cute, it was quick, I liked it. So maybe that'll be one of them. The Inheritance by Zoraida Cordova. I have a mighty need for this one. She gets beautiful covers. I can't remember, I don't know that I've ever actually read anything from her though, now that I think of it. I don't know that I've read Labyrinth Lost. I think I picked it up a few times and I found out that the series wasn't finished being published, so I waited. I just don't think I got back around to it, and it's a YA fantasy, so though I've kind of died off from those, but I am very interested in whatever this. That is a beautiful cover. Beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. Even the background color is very appealing. Everything about this is beautiful. Same with Bones of Ruin. This goes into I Have a Mighty Need. She is a Canadian author and an author of color, and there's a tightrope walker. This just screams something I want to consume, even if it is a YA fantasy. I will forgive it for being a YA fantasy. I am very, very curious about this. The author has one other series. I don't think I read it though. Honestly, I don't remember reading it. So, but this, I am curious. I hope this goes in a book box. I would sign up for one of the book box subscriptions if this goes in it. Dreams Lie Beneath. Okay, I'm conflicted on this one. Because honestly, this one made me go like, no. I don't like that cover. It gives me Beauty and the Beast vibes. I don't like it. I do not like it at all. Nope. Just a lot of, I don't like it about it. For my tastes. You know, it's not bad art design. I just don't like it. With that being said, I really like Sisters of Sword and... But again, we're keeping this on the cover. I may read this book, probably through the library, but I don't like this cover. I do not like this cover. I don't know why. I know that I've liked her past book, like I said, but I don't like this cover. It also creeps me out that the person looks purple. I am so excited for The Great Bear. This is a Canadian Indigenous author. It is the sequel to The Barren Grounds. The Barren Grounds is like an Indigenous Narnia. It was so fun. I loved the first book. It was so fun, so quick, and yes, I want that. I want that very much. It's a wonderful middle grade series. An Island Without. This looks like a really nice cover, but a big nope. It's something I'd be like, oh, that's cute. I'd probably hate the content and I'd put it back on the shelf and walk away. You know, for someone, just not for me. The Demon Tide goes into I Have a Mighty Need because the Black Witch series, I love that series so much. And I know there's all that drama, and I originally picked it up because there was all that drama about it. And then I read it and I was like, this book is very clearly anti-racism. What are people talking about? This is a big no for me. This is a no. See what I mean about Beauty and the Beast? There's a million of them out there and we can't get a single Atlantis retelling. Oh, Elizabeth Lim had 2. So she had 2 cover reveals this month. There's that one and the 6 Crimson Cranes. These are both the UK covers. Beautiful. Beautiful. I read Spin the Dawn and I liked it for the most part, honestly, though I felt like the premise of it being like a fashion design show was done in like the first half of the book, and then I was like, what is the rest of this book then? Why did you pitch it that way? 6 Crimson Cranes was her new book that she got a gorgeous North American cover, but wow, the UK cover. Oh, I want that. Oh, I haven't even read the sequel to Spin the Dawn, but I am so tempted, and I don't think I will ever read those books again if I even do read the sequel. I read book 1. It was all right. I don't want to read it again. I kind of want to own these for the cover, okay? Then there's the Insiders. I'm curious on this. Like this, I've seen this author Marco Shiro a few times. I've never actually read anything by them. So I keep seeing the covers. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Hopefully I'll eventually get to it. But I always seem to find time to fit in middle grade stuff. Less so YA stuff. I can't explain it. Can't explain it. So this just piqued my interest. It looks like a fun middle grade, and there's characters of color on it, which, like, I just want that. It looks fun, maze, probably some mystery puzzle solving kind of thing into it, and that's the shit I enjoy in middle grade. So Jade Fire Gold, I have been watching for this book since it got announced, and it has changed publishing houses, I think, now, and then it got delayed like I think 3 times now at this point, but it's coming out and I am so excited for it. That cover, okay, you know how I was like, I hate the recovering of An Ember in the Ashes? It looks like a knockoff of Assassin's Creed covers and not in a like a nod to it. It looks like they literally copied it. This is what I was kind of hoping when I heard, like, oh, it's a recovering tied to the video game-ness. This looks like a little bit like a video game, and I love that cover. I love it so much. It looks a little bit like Star Wars-esque, but very clearly with Asian influences, and it's just, oh, I love that. I love that. I love that so much. That Dark Infinity, okay, again, wasn't on my radar, and this is probably going to be influenced by the fact that I did read the author's Elysium Girls, which I really did like, and no one fucking read it, and it had a gorgeous cover too. This is so interesting. I just stared at my Instagram feed when I saw this. I was like, what is this? What is this? What is it? When I looked at it, it reminded me a tiny bit of what was Kirsten White's series with the Vlad the Impaler retelling that I didn't like. Can't remember what it was, but it kind of reminds me of that, but again in a way that they kind of probably have a formula that it fits into. I love this. This looks so cool. I'm so interested. The skull, the bone hand and the real human hand with flesh, that alone was like, what are we talking about in this book? What interest piqued? And that looked beautifully designed, so I'm here for it. Idle Gossip, put the book on my radar. The Troubled Girls of the Dragomir Academy. Went on my radar as soon as I saw the title of that alone, but the tower with like the bit of like wind swirling going around it or whatever the heck that is, and then the Dragomir in the title. Is wonderful. Middle grade fantasies have been like hitting the spot for me. A History of Wild Places. I don't know if I guess I would go put the book on my radar. I think I do need to create a category for next time of like stayed on my radar or something like that. Stayed on my radar, put the book on my radar, got off my radar. I was curious about this because I have really liked both Shea Ernishaw's previous books. This looks more like an adult thriller mystery though, so I'm not totally sure what's going on with the marketing there. Briar Girls is a big nope. Does not appeal to me whatsoever. Looks pretty, whatever, but it's just not something for me. Ooh, Velvet Was the Night. Yes, I Have a Mighty Need. I like this author. She's also a Canadian author of color, which we don't have a ton of. So very interested. She has so many books coming out now. Oh my god. Like, as soon as Gods of Jade and Shadow did really well, they were like, okay, we're taking every book you've ever, like, started, put out, self-published, and whatever, and we're making it, we're putting it out. So she has this, Velvet Was the Night, and then she has the cover for Certain Dark of Something that came out in March so far that is coming out, and then there's another book that I think was self-published before that is getting a recovering. So she's so much book coming out. Very excited. Looks very like glamour old Hollywood-esque with some like gangsters sort of stuff. The Royals is a no. That looks like a no to me for a variety of reasons. The King of Infinite Spaces, of Infinite Space. Yes, the cover is honestly quite basic, but I really like the covers for some reason that Lindsay gets. I've read a few of her previous books, and I always seem to like, when I finish the book, I'm like, this cover makes sense. So I just have faith in that, and it looks like an adult book, which it is. So that makes me happy that they're not messing up marketing. Witch Haven. Oh, I was kind of interested in this, and that is the most basic as hell cover I have ever seen from a traditional publisher. It doesn't look right. There's something missing. It looks half finished. There's the background. It just looks so plain. I don't understand what happened. Was there like a deadline or something like that they couldn't, I don't know, whatever. It's a remove from my radar, no longer interested. Tons of monsters. I have a mighty need. I'm very excited. I know some people didn't love the second book of that series. That is the third and final book in the Serpent and Dove series. I loved it. I like this series so much. Very traditional YA fantasy, but it works for me. Bright Heart, no, it looks like a traditional YA fantasy. I am the most confusing person. Like, good grief. No wonder I'm not married or dating anyone. A Rush of Wings, I have a mighty need. I will buy anything Lauren Weymouth puts out at this point. And Empire of the Wild, or Empire of the Vampire. Okay, so this edition is going in the Nope. I hate the US edition. Oh my god. It looks so disjointed, so disconnected. I don't understand what happened. The background with the animals and the bears, wonderful. The random Photoshop of the guy that looks like the Witcher, what the fuck is that doing there? What are you doing? What is that? So I saw that and went, all right. And I went to Waterstones and ordered the UK copy because that is just bad. No, I don't understand it. I have no issue with the title placement or the font that they use. The blood or whatever that red stuff is swirling in the background being animals. So cool. What the hell is that random person doing there? What is that? What is that? Whatever purpose it is there, like whether it's the dude holding the sword or whatever, you could have incorporated it into the red swarm and had something in the middle centered coming out and then the other things around on the side as little details. No issue there. It is the random clip art Photoshop placement of a human being that looks like the Witcher. I don't understand. Are they hoping that people will buy it thinking it's the Witcher series? Is that it? I don't understand. Because they clearly hired an artist for the design of the red swirling stuff. What is that person doing? I don't understand. Anyways, that's it. So we ended up with a pretty, I have a mighty need and put the book on my radar, top heavy. We are going to, I think, include a new tier next time of the stayed on my radar, which would kind of break this up a little bit, but some of them in here, the Empire of the Vampire, I don't know what they're thinking. Whoever does the US publishers like covers, I can't handle them. Some of them I don't know who they're selling to. God. Anyways, this is a dumpster mess. I don't know if there's a purpose in putting Goodreads links. There's like 60 books. I'm not doing that, unfortunately. You can see the covers. Go Google them or Goodreads search them, whatever it may be. Anyways, I will have all my social media down below. Let me know if you liked or hated this and we can adapt and go from there. And Lord help me having to edit this because this is gonna be a long video. I'm sorry. Have a wonderful day. Staying safe. Ooh, that's not a phrase. Stay safe. Stay inside if you need to. Wear a mask. Stop fighting with minimum wage staff workers. Pay your staff workers more than minimum wage because the government is too stupid. Oh my god. That's a whole thing. And if you get the opportunity, take the vaccine if you can. I am in envy of you because I am 28 and have no chronic health issues. So I am at the bottom of the pool of availability. So I just have to wait and wait and wait. Anyways, I will see you all next Tuesday.